Week 5 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers I look to buy and trade for this week. The first pitcher, Joe Musgrove of the San Diego Padres. So it's been a tough season so far for Musgrove, especially his last outing, giving up 4 home runs in that game versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Even though I know the Phillies, one of the best teams in the league once again. So on the year for Musgrove, 35 innings, 3-3 record, 27 Ks, 6.94 ERA, 1.66 WHIP, and 3 quality starts. So his K rate's down, the velocity's down a little bit. And the last few weeks here, he's been batting practices, Musgrove. So today, I know he has a decent matchup versus Cincinnati Reds, where their offense has been a hit or miss so far in the early going of the season. Musgrove, we know he's an ace. We know this Padre team, they have a lot of confidence in him, giving him a $100 million contract a couple years ago. And right now, he just got to get back on track after getting bombed by Philly, which I said, they're one of the best teams in the league. So coming off a bad outing like that, it's a perfect time to buy him low. April 15th at the Brewers, 6 innings, got the win. 7 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 3 Ks, a quality start. April 21st versus the Blue Jays, 7 innings, got the win. 5 hits, 3 runs in that one, no walks, 3 Ks, a quality start. And April 26th versus the Phillies, 3 2/3 with the loss. 8 hits, 7 runs. The 4 homers given up, like I said, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. So right now, his walk rate's up a little bit, strikeout rate's down, a little bit too much contact. But like I said, it's early in the season. Sometimes it takes these top pitchers a few weeks to get really going, even with a spring training, and get back to form. So far, since he's off to a slow start for the most part, he's a buy low candidate this week. And like I said, we'll see what he can do in today's outing. But either way, I would still go out there and try to get him. The next pitcher is Chris Bassitt of the Toronto Blue Jays. So Bassitt, he's pitching today as well, with a pretty decent matchup versus the Royals. But it's been a tough season for Bassitt, where last year he was solid, and even 2 years ago with the New York Mets, he had a solid year. But so far this year, 30 in the third, 2-4 record, 30 Ks, 5.64 ERA, 1.85 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. So Bassitt's really struggled. Then his last 2 outings and last 2 weeks, he's 0-2 with a 10.13 ERA. So he's not pitching the baseball well. Not a lot of movement on his pitches, and he's getting hit hard. Granted, the last 3 outings, very tough matchups on paper versus the Yankees, at the Padres, and the Dodgers, all pretty good hitting teams, obviously, and top hitting teams in the league. So Chris Bassitt, like I said, he's an innings eater. He's been a good pitcher the last few seasons, and even going back to Oakland, I know he's bounced around a little bit, 3 teams in 4 years, but he's still a pitcher I think can help fantasy owners. And right now, where the last 2 outings have been bad for him, he's a perfect buy low, because if he goes out there here today versus the Royals, his price will go up a little bit. April 15th versus the Yankees, 6 1/3 in that one, 4 hits, a run, 2 walks, 5 Ks, a quality start. April 21st at the Padres, 5 1/3, got the loss. 6 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. And April 26th versus the Dodgers, he got bombed, like I said, 2 2/3, got the loss. 9 hits, 7 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. So today, maybe he could get back on track for this Blue Jay team after coming off of tough outings versus great hitting teams. And I think Chris Bassitt will, but right now, like I said, coming off of 2 bad outings, this is a time to buy these type of plays, because obviously he's got the track record. He's been a solid pitcher, and he's a guy that really goes out there and could go deep into ball games. The next pitcher, Michael Wacha of the Kansas City Royals. So Michael Wacha, I know he's not owned in that many fantasy leagues. Available right now, 53% of fantasy leagues. If you need some pitching help on the year, 34 innings, 1-3 record, 28 Ks, a 4.24 ERA, a 1.32 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. So Michael Wacha, another guy, he's going to go out there and give you winnings. I know he's up there at age, and he's resurrected his arsenal over the last few seasons. He looked on after he was injured a lot with the St. Louis Cardinals. Then he went to the Mets. Then he went to the Tampa Bay Rays. But the last couple seasons, he's played well. Last year, he was good with the Padres. And so far this season, I think he hasn't been all that bad with this Kansas City Royal team. And they gave him a nice contract in the offseason. So I think as a back end of the rotation type of starter, and someone who you could get on a very cheap discount or pick up off the wire, like I mentioned, I like Wacha this week. April 17th at the White Sox, 6 innings, got the loss, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, a quality start. April 23rd versus the Blue Jays, 4 1/3, no decision, 8 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. And April 28th at the Tigers, 5 2/3, got the loss, 9 hits, 4 runs, 3 Ks in that one. So the last 2 outings obviously haven't been good for Michael Wacha, but he plays in an AL Central where there's not many good hitting teams. You got the White Sox, worst team in the league. Tigers, their hitting's up and down this season. Minnesota Twins, Same thing as well. And the Guardians, I know so far are off to a good start, but their hitting as well isn't all that great in my opinion. I know they got Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor, but besides that, a lot of inconsistencies there as well. So right now, like I said, he struggled the last two outings, but pitches in a favorable division. And he's a buy-low pitcher this week. The next pitcher is Zach Gallen of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So another starter starting today versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. And Zach Gallen, we know he's one of the better pitchers in the league on the season. 32 innings, 3-2 record, 35 Ks, a 3.38 ERA, a 1.22 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. So Zach Gallen, we know he's got ace-type stuff, but the last couple outings, he's been getting hit pretty well. 10 innings in that time, 0-2 record, 9 Ks, a 7.20 ERA, a 1.40 WHIP. In that time, so Gallen, I know he left the last start. Now he's going to go out there, and we'll see what he can do versus one of the best teams in the league. And obviously, an amazing lineup of Los Angeles Dodgers with Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy. So a lot of great hitters in that lineup. And we'll see Gallen today if he could go out there and get the job done. And this Diamondback team, I still think they're having a little bit of a hangover getting to the World Series last season and just not playing good baseball. So the last few games for Gallen, April 14th, versus the Cardinals, 6 innings in that one, got the win, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks, a quality start. April 20th at the Giants, 5 innings, got the loss, 9 hits, 5 runs, a walk, 6 Ks. And April 26th at the Mariners, in that one, 5 innings, got the loss, 3 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 3 Ks. Back out in the last outing, he left with a hamstring injury, but he's back and he's pitching here today. And we'll see if you can go out there and pitch good versus the Dodgers, and if you don't, his value will even drop a little bit more. We could get him on a little bit of a discount. Just like I said, Gallen's got ace-type stuff for fantasy owners. He's an innings eater as well. And he's one of the main reasons this Diamondback team made a great push out of nowhere, sneaking in as a wild card and making the World Series. So right now, I would buy him this week in the 5th and final pitcher I look to buy this week's Justin Steele of the Chicago Cubs. So Justin Steele, what a year it was for him last year with the Cubs. 173 in the third, 16-5 record, 176 Ks, a 3.06 ERA, a 1.17 WHIP, and 20 quality starts. A Steele, we know he's been on the IL after his first outing of the year with the hamstring, and it's good it's not an elbow or a forearm or a shoulder. I know the hamstring injury is tricky, and a pitcher needs everything to push off the mound and stuff. But like I said, Justin Steele, if it's not an arm injury at this point, the way things have gone for a lot of pitchers in the major leagues this season, you'll take that, obviously. So Justin Steele, he could be back sooner than later and might just need one rehab start, and that hamstring's getting a little bit better. And if you could get Steele on a discount before he returns, that's adding another top 2 or 3 starter with his potential to your pitching rotation. I know the Chicago Cubs, they're not a good team, really. Their hitting has been inconsistent and all that, not all that great. But even last season, where they weren't a good team and didn't make the playoffs, like I said, he was in the Cy Young hunt, 16-5 on the year with a 3.06 ERA. So right now, if you could get Steele cheap, and he's going to be back most likely early mid-May, would it be in May 1st here is Justin Steele. He's a good buy low pitcher this week. So that's a few pitchers I look to buy and trade for Week 5 of the fantasy baseball season.